I'm Carrie Enright Cato, Director of the Office of Climate Change Technology and Research at DEEP. Welcome to the Exploring Climate Solutions webinar series. This series is brought to you by the Governor's Council on Climate Change. This past Earth Day, Governor Malloy issued an executive order creating the Governor's Council on Climate Change, also known as the GC3, to examine the efficacy of existing policies and regulations designed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and identify new strategies to meet the state's greenhouse gas emission reduction targets. The Council is composed of 15 members from state agencies, quasi-state agencies, businesses, and nonprofits. To learn more about the GC3, please go to www.ct.gov/deep/GC3. As a part of the Council's exploratory process, this webinar series explores innovative and successful climate change solutions in Connecticut and across the country. This series will provide first-hand accounts of high-profile municipal climate programs, climate initiatives in the corporate world, greenhouse gas reporting frameworks, statewide sustainability programs, and low-carbon fuel initiatives. Today, we're excited to have as our guest presenters Doug Layton from the New Haven Department of Transportation, Traffic, and Parking, Melissa Goodall from the Yale Office of Sustainability, and Joanne Cavadini from Connecticut Rise. They'll be walking us through the newly established Go New Haven Go program, which is a partnership initiative that encourages healthier, cheaper, and cleaner travel in the greater New Haven area. Their presentation will be about 40 minutes long, and then we'll open it up for questions from the audience. If you do have a question, please submit your question in the question box on your screen, and we will read it aloud for Doug, Melissa, or Joanne to respond to. So before we get started, I also wanted to just suggest for those of you listening on your computer speakers, if your sound quality is not very good, I want to encourage you to call in using your phone, which has a much clearer sound quality. So Doug, Melissa, and Joanne, thank you for your willingness to present, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Doug to start.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all the participants in your interest in Go New Haven Go. My name is Doug Layton. Mayor Harp has appointed me as her Director of Transportation, Traffic, and Parking, with the idea that we are focusing more of as our department on our sustainable transportation goals and initiatives. I believe I get to go first because my title is the longest, so thank you. Today we'll be going over a bit of the history of the program, how it works. We'll turn it over to our partners, which is a word we're going to use a lot today is partnership, from Yale Sustainability as well as CT Rides. And then we'll come back to how we can implement Go New Haven Go or Go Your City Go and other options across the state of Connecticut. So just some backgrounds, of course. Everybody knows that New Haven is an old city. We have a lot of rail and ports and a sludge incinerator that causes a lot of air quality problems in the city of New Haven. Consistently, we rank up there with some best pizza in the world, but also some of the poorest and polluted cities in the world. And in addition, we have some of the worst asthma rates in the country. And some of the efforts that the department has been going towards has been through our sustainability priorities. And in relation to air quality, we've been really focusing on the 40% of the carbon output that is related to transportation in the state of Connecticut. So overall, our sustainability priorities involve a lot of areas and touch a lot of departments. And so obviously one of the more important things that we can do as a municipality is coordinate and, again, start doing something to start mitigating these problems. So Go New Haven Go is a coalition of stakeholders in the city of New Haven. We collaborate on a multimodal transportation program that helps employers and employees think outside of the car. In fact, what that means is that we have created a year-round resource through our website, gonhgo.org, which I highly recommend that you check out. On that website, we've created an employer and employee toolkits for transportation demand management, and we promote our partners at CT Rides and New Ride for the benefits that they offer. Additionally, in addition to the year-round resource, we hosted a one-month campaign to highlight and sort of amplify our work in advocacy and to get more people into our system. So in 2015, our month campaign was September, had almost 500 individuals, 35 companies, and we were able to save our transportation costs, we were able to save about $87,000 in transportation costs by getting a lot of people to think outside the car. You can see our award categories, and I should pause here and say that one way that we were able to get this work done is through a lot of staff time, funded by varying partners and nonprofit agencies, as well as the Yale University and CT Rides folks. And here's why we're doing it. You know, New Haven has a lot of households that have no car. We also have a large percentage of people that walk and bike to work, and roughly 4% of folks who take the bus to work. You know, Go New Haven Go is an advocacy program, as well as a program that is intended to help individuals make better commuting options based on their own preferences and their commute patterns. As you can tell, there's a big reason for it. We have a lot of delays and a lot of human and environmental costs associated with our commute patterns in Connecticut. The governor and obviously Commissioner Klee and Commissioner Redeker have met the challenge recently and stepped up our efforts into creating a more multimodal system. One thing that cannot be overstated is how much energy that from top-down leadership, there has been a lot of top-down leadership here, as well as bottom-up, in the sense that both Senators Blumenthal and Murphy have attended Go New Haven Go events in September, and Mayor Harp has highlighted this as a big focus of my department's work. In addition to the support we've received, we've seen a lot of interest from the press and the free press. So we were able to, through our efforts, and we'll talk about this in the second phase of my speaking, we were able to get a lot of interest and market and PR. And again, the whole goal is to get more people to find out about the program, and we'll talk about strategies to do that. So why do we have to do this? In New Haven, I run the signals, the traffic signals, as well as do all the I'm in charge of the transportation planning, and we're seeing a good problem in New Haven. It's the old Yogi Berra problem. No one wants to go there anymore. It's too crowded. And we continue to grow and grow as we unwind Route 34, and we're building 100 College Street and the future sites of 101 College and rolling back the highway. So as we develop, currently there's about 50% of the surface area in the medical district is surface parking rather than buildings. And as those come onto the tax rolls into a more productive use, we need to do things in order to avoid having to build more garages, as well as promote healthier, sustainable transportation. Because if we don't do anything to change people's patterns and behaviors, we're going to have to build our way out of these problems with highway lanes and garages, and we're all familiar with whether or not that's an oxymoron. So as you can see in this slide, we have a projected parking supply gap of over 5,000 parking spaces by 2025, and that's only in known construction that's coming along. So we have to do things to better reduce demand and mitigate the needs of our mobility system. So right now, we feel that we have to do a multi-pronged approach. We're really throwing the kitchen sink at this with respect to our partners at Connecticut Transit offering a free commuter shuttle in the downtown. Our largest employers, Yale New Haven Hospital, both run shuttle programs where they are working with their employees to think outside the car in their TDM programs. And then, of course, we have to make walking and biking and alternative transportation more accessible. And that goes to the built environment, making sure that our walk shed and our bike shed are greatly enhanced, as well as providing parking spaces and amenities for folks who choose to bike to work or choose to walk to work. So moving forward, and this is my last slide of this part, we want to figure out how best to take this program to the next level. This is our second year in the city. We are trying our best to support any other municipality that would like to copy our program. It is available for copy and pasting. And we are trying our best in New Haven to help support the larger Connecticut transportation goals referenced in Mode Shift. And we effectively, with a population of 130,000, our next goal is to get on this list. So from now, I'd turn it over to Melissa Goodall, who will talk more about Yale's efforts in this Go New Haven Go.
Okay, so Carrie, is it to me? Carrie?
Sorry, I'm making you the presenter right now.
Great, thanks. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Actually, nope, we cannot.
Interesting. All right. And quick start. Share screen.
There we go. We're all set. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Going back. Okay, so just a brief sort of snapshot, Yale and New Haven, because as Doug mentioned, we are a major employer. We're also a major sort of occupant of New Haven. We are, of course, a fairly old university, and we have quite a few buildings in New Haven. Our total population is just above 25,000 in a city of 130,000, so we're a pretty substantial presence here in New Haven. Yale in the community is a concept that we're actually not only really enthusiastic about, but we're really actively working on how Yale and the city are currently connecting and always looking for new opportunities. So just some very brief highlights on what we're currently doing, some of the efforts in New Haven. One of the things we do as an institution is we offer benefits to employees to buy homes throughout New Haven so that people are encouraged to live locally, which of course is very nicely connected with this goal of getting people to use more active transportation. The closer you are, the easier it is not to use a single occupancy vehicle. This is our School of Architecture, we actually build homes in lower income neighborhoods and then make them very affordable. We're also working on making those programs, those houses as sustainable as possible. So really actively contributing to the neighborhoods around the city of around the university. This is our Urban Resources Initiative, which is a program where we basically plant trees. We plant a lot of trees in a lot of ways for a lot of reasons. We are directly supporting the city's needs in terms of trees around the city. We also use this as an opportunity to teach skills to ex-offenders and to high school students. And we also use it as a community building program where we offer trees, plants, and other supplies to groups that want to enhance their neighborhoods through plantings. This is all sort of in support of Yale and New Haven becoming greener, cleaner, and healthier. And speaking of healthier, this is our CARE initiative, which is a program run through our School of Public Health where they literally go out into public schools, into neighborhoods, they go door to door, really working with community members to address concerns such as asthma, diabetes, smoking cessation, eating healthfully, getting active, etc. So this is CARE. And then this is Community Carbon Fund. So this is a program where we encourage members of the Yale community to offset their events and their travel, and then we collect those funds to enhance two of the ways that the funds are used are, number one, to plant more trees with URI, and number two, to update low-income homes so that they become eligible for energy programs by the state and by the city. And then we have a program called Dwight Hall, which is actually not a Yale initiative, it's a Yale-affiliated initiative, but this one is a particularly important one to mention in this context because Dwight Hall basically raises funds to support Yale undergraduate students who want to take on internships. And so basically over the summer, Dwight Hall paid for a full-time intern to work for Go New Haven Go. And this is a tremendous asset. He's been a fantastic asset to the program all along, and I believe he's still working for a few hours a week to support the initiative. It's been a terrific experience for him, of course, and it's been critical for the success of the program this year. So then Yale and Go New Haven Go. Just briefly, the Yale Sustainability Transportation priorities, as stated in the Yale Sustainability Strategic Plan, are really they're a little bit operational in their focus in that we're looking to reduce, well, you can see it here, lessen Yale's impact on New Haven traffic congestion and vehicle emissions by reducing single occupancy vehicle use by faculty and staff at campus 2% below 2013 levels by 2016. Basically, we're speaking in terms of parking spaces. We are encouraging commuters who live within the Yale shuttle zone to ride that shuttle because it is free. And we are getting cleaner and cleaner with that shuttle. We're expanding our ride-sharing program, and we are promoting the use of West Campus as a park-and-ride. So folks who want to drive just that far and leave their cars behind and ride the shuttle in are welcome to do so. It is, however, a little bit difficult sometimes to communicate this 2% because 2% doesn't sound super exciting. It's terrifically meaningful and impactful for the university in terms of environmental and financial benefits. But in order to inspire folks, we found it a little bit more challenging to communicate that. Another opportunity that we identified with the last plan is to increase participation in the federal pre-tax commuter benefits program by 25%. And this basically means that we're really encouraging people to use their pre-tax dollars to purchase bus and rail passes. So far, we've seen about a 6% increase, which is good. We have a little bit of heavy lifting to do this year, but we're hoping to use Go New Haven Go as a platform for enhancing that. Looking forward, however, we're now in the process of developing Yale's next sustainability strategic plan, and the reason why we're so excited about Go New Haven Go, I skipped one of my own slides. I apologize. Just in case anyone's interested, if you go to the Transportation Options website, this is our portal for all things sustainable transportation. So you can go in through here to see our bike share program, our car share program, the shuttle maps. We have real-time tracking of all the shuttles, both through this website and through any handheld smartphone. And we have a tremendous number of resources to help people think about how to get outside of their car in terms of getting to and from and around campus. We also have something called a guaranteed ride home, of course, which is where if you do take the train in and you find yourself suddenly needing to get home, or if you do carpooling and you need yourself and you find yourself suddenly needing to get home, we will provide a ride to anybody. So then going to the forward thinking, in terms of our new sustainability priorities, as I mentioned, that 2% is not the most exciting thing to hook our users with. So in thinking through what it is that makes people excited, well, people are really, when you're talking about sustainability, the best way to really engage the average listener is to talk about things that they already care about, such as their own health. And so what we're trying to focus on now is wellness. We're also looking at safety in New Haven. The more people who are out there walking and biking and just generally making the streets lively, the better. We're talking about community building, and part of that is what you see here in this picture, which is people getting out and walking on a regular basis, getting out to know the neighborhood. We're also talking about green spaces. You know, when we're out there planting trees with the Urban Resources Initiative, it really does enhance the campus. It enhances our environmental portfolio, but it also makes it a lot more pleasant to walk around. So it's a really nice reciprocal value, and of course those trees also clean up the air. Connecting with the city is a really, really important priority for us. Our campus is intimately linked with the city of New Haven. It's very much intermingled, and so it's very important that we approach challenges such as the dirty air that Doug referenced, such as stormwater management, such as traffic and congestion in partnership. And so what we're looking at now is this concept of active transportation, which is really at the heart of what Go New Haven Go is for us. We're really looking at how to be proactive instead of saying, leave your car at home, no car, no car. We're saying, get out and walk, get out and bike, do positive things. And we're hoping that Go New Haven Go is something that really resonates with staff members throughout the university. And then on a final note, one of the best parts about this program, and Doug touched on this briefly, is just the wonderful number of partners that came together around this concept. And these are many of these groups are folks that we work with on a periodic basis, but for us all to be contributing to sort of a universal platform and using transportation as a way to build a bridge between all of these folks has been a tremendous asset to this program, and we're looking forward to next steps with all of these folks. And so to sort of summarize, this was a wonderful way for us to meet goals, and it's a wonderful way for us to think about our next generation transportation goals, but it's also enhancing our relationship with folks in and around New Haven, and we're sincerely hopeful that other universities will think about a similar model as Go New Haven Go and adopt and partner with their municipalities, because it really is a unifying platform. And that is my last slide.
Great, thank you, Melissa. Joanne, you're next.
Okay, I think I'm on.
Good, great, thanks.
Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yep, perfect.
Perfect. Okay. So first I'll give you a little bit of information about the services that CT Rides provides, and then I can tell you about how our services help facilitate Go New Haven Go. And I'm sure in the next section we can talk about how our services, since we're a statewide program, they could also complement a program in Go Any City Go, as Doug had mentioned. So we are the Connecticut Department of Transportation Commuter Services Program. So we help commuters find the best way to get to work or school. We have information and resources for travel options throughout Connecticut. We encourage, assist, and reward commuters for choosing sustainable options. Our customer service line, which is our 1-877 CT Rides, has a whole host of information that they can help commuters. We have free trial rides for bus passes or van pools. Our commuter rewards program is through New Ride. We have a free custom commute plan, which you can either access by telephone or through our website, which is this great way you put in your address, your starting address, your ending address, and our customer service department will help you find the best way to get to work, not using your single occupancy vehicle. We have a guaranteed ride home for monthly riders, monthly bus riders, monthly van pool riders, and that's up to 4 free rides per year home. Through our outreach, we partner with employers across Connecticut. We are currently partnered with over 230 Connecticut employers, including the City of New Haven and Yale University, and that was how we ended up partnering with the city to work on Go New Haven Go. Our employer outreach, we work with employers to develop, promote commuter programs, including teleworking, and we also have information to assist employers with implementing the commuter tax benefit. We will work with individual employers to meet their needs in their location based on the available commuting options. We have annual business forums. Our next forum is actually in November, so if anyone was interested in learning more about our services as well as best practices for implementing sustainable commuting programs, that information for the November forums is on our website for Bridgeport, New Haven, and the Hartford Forum. So that's a great way for people to follow up after this to get more information about the services that we have available. Our commuter rewards is done through a program called New Ride, and we use New Ride for Go New Haven Go for in a couple of ways. People were eligible to get the New Ride rewards just for participating by taking a sustainable commute. But then additionally, with access to the New Ride portal, we could get that information to for the City of New Haven to identify both the businesses or the employers and the individuals who were saving the most on either carbon emissions, who saved the most money, who saved the most mileage. So it was a great way to contribute the actual data to the Go New Haven Go program. The discounts for the New Ride, they tend to use very local or some online coupon codes. Anybody who takes a sustainable commute and is registered for New Ride and tracks their trip, they can actually earn points, and those points are then redeemable for these great discounts. And it's just a great way to thank individuals for choosing to commute sustainably. And then finally, the way that CT Rides was able to assist or contribute to the Go New Haven Go program was we were able to, because we work in outreach, we work with individual employers, and we worked with the City of New Haven to participate in their planning of the Go New Haven Go month, which was in the month of September. We provided outreach to the businesses that registered, and when we contacted those businesses, we were able to set up events to share information about sustainable practices in commuting. We were able to share information about signing up through New Ride, and we were able to promote the Go New Haven Go initiative throughout the month of September. We have this very robust social media program that was able to promote all of the Go New Haven Go events, as well as we were able to assist with New Ride registration throughout the month. And then finally, my final page is just information about how to contact CT Rides to assist with getting a Go Your City Go up and running and having us contribute to your services. So I think that's it for me.
Great, thank you. And Doug's going to go ahead and wrap up before we open it up for questions.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you to our partners at Yale University and CT Rides. Without them, without our partners, we would not be able to do any of the work that we're trying to do to advance our sustainability goals in the city of New Haven as a collective. So how do we get this started in any other city? And I think from the city's perspective, the partners from New Haven Leon Sister City Project and Office of Sustainability approached the city with this concept of taking this from last year's efforts to 2015 and expanding it. And so we went around, we did a little bit of fundraising to the amount of $2,000, and that really only paid for a printing of a banner that went over the street and printed some tabling banners for your table skirts, as well as ads onto CT transit buses, and all of that came from again a lot of staff time from our organizations. However, it did take $1,200 of donations from the parking authority in the city of New Haven, as well as a grant from our New Haven Green Fund that paid for the printing of the ads. So with only $2,000, we were able to build a campaign that was quite effective in 2015. But of course, most importantly, how effective was it? And as you can see from this slide, the 2014 to 2015 numbers, we saw a 16 times increase in the tonnage of CO2 that we avoided, and about a 15 times increase in single occupancy vehicle mileage reductions. There's a number of places that Go New Haven Go wants to take this, and we're right now working on our vision and our action plans for where do we go from here. There are some models out there, Seattle, Philly, Arlington, Go DC Go, that we're looking at as models to copy and sort of pick out and make the best for Connecticut. And so one thing that I cannot talk about enough is that it does take energy, passion, and staff time to get out there and really talk to our press. And the more that we held events, the more hits we got, the more people came and approached us to join into our program. And as you can see, we've got senators, we've got police, we've got the governor, we've got our mayor, all focusing on Go New Haven Go for the month. And really what Go New Haven Go is in 4 buckets, I would say. One is the infrastructure, one is the energy or the staff time, the third is donations, and the fourth is events and PR and marketing. So the infrastructure for the state of Connecticut is phenomenally represented with CT Rides and New Ride. I can't tell you enough about how great that Connecticut DOT program has been in assisting us in our goals. But we want to be able to create a product that you can take into your town, and you can copy this model and take it from there. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Use our webpage as a resource. Copy and paste our webpage. We can give you all of the coding. Where we take this from here is, again, based on setting goals and defining metrics for success. So we were able, our goal in 14 to 15 was a 10x increase. Some of the places we saw 16, 15 times increase in our participation, and next year we're going to set that same goal to amplify it again. But then on the long-term sustainability side of making this change really something that we can repeat and is going to take a TDM coordinator and transit check, things that are institutional that have to get changed, and we can talk about those in the Q&A. The City of New Haven right now, through a TOD grant, has hired a coordinator for TDM that will be doing individual employee-to-employee, really hand-to-hand TDM work to do personal rides in addition to the CT rides work that happens in the city of New Haven. Additionally, the city itself is trying to be a leader in alternative transportation, and we're preparing and packaging an RFP right now for Transit Check to allow our employees to get federal pre-tax dollars to use for alternative transportation. And again, it's about marketing, promotion, and building that network of partners. We have referenced a lot of the data, and of course you can't read this, nor will you be able to, but in the PDFs that will go around, there'll be links to our articles of where we get our information. And so the one thing I would like to end on is that this is totally possible. You can do this. And we're here, the City of New Haven, Melissa from Yale, and Joanne from CT Rides. We're here to help you do it in your town if you so choose. Again, thank you so much for participating and looking forward to the questions and answers.
Great. Thank you so much, Doug, Melissa, and Joanne. That was a great overview. We do have a few questions, so I'll go ahead and read them out to you. I think our first one is a few of you have mentioned this pre-tax commuter benefits program. I don't know if it's Joanne that is best to explain, or Melissa, but can you explain what that is and how and if other people can take advantage of a program like that?
Sure, and this is Doug. I think I'll try it myself.
Thanks, Doug.
And let's see if I can switch over. Can you guys see my monitor still?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So on our gonho.org website, we do have resources for employers. In here is conversations about your transit pre-tax benefit guide, and these are resources that other folks have put together. But effectively, the federal government allows you to take pre-tax deductions for parking and transit for commuting to work. I believe the guidelines are somewhere in the range of $170 to $250 based on if you're getting parking or transit. And if you're an employer in the state of Connecticut, there's incentives for both employees and employers to join this. Now, the incentives for governments change slightly, mostly because the benefits come from lower effective wages that employers pay on the Social Security and Medicare and FICA. So the 6.5% tax. Long story short, these are federal programs that every person in the country can access. But the question is whether or not your employer creates a program that makes it simple. So if you are someone who does so in the City of New Haven, we only currently offer the parking benefit because it's easy. And I hate to say it that way, but it's the fact of the matter is that in payroll, who has to handle all of these requests, to do the same check, the same month to the same person every year, it's easy. Additionally, everyone in payroll drives. So in order to get the pre-tax benefit for transit commuters, we need somebody in there that understands the pain of transit and understands the pain of bikes, and will be able to outsource that program and hire someone to manage that for us. So places like and we have an RFP that we're happy to share with anyone that would like to have this, but AFLAC, for instance, for if you're a private corporation, AFLAC will offer this as a free benefit because they will try and then, as a loss leader, they'll sell other products on top of it. So a lot of people will work with you. As an employer, you get lower overall wages to pay taxes on. You actually save money by offering this service to your employees, and employees get pre-tax benefits for transit and for parking.
Great, Doug. That was really helpful. Okay, another question. Are there any other Connecticut municipalities developing programs like Go New Haven Go, and how might the GC3 be able to help move other municipalities in this direction? And anyone is welcome to take that.
And I'll defer to Joanne, and I apologize for being a bully on the Q&A. To my understanding, that we're the first city in Connecticut to launch this, but there has been interest from folks like Stamford, folks like Milford, who have come and seen some of the events here in New Haven and have talked to me and met with me to find out about the program. Joanne, have you seen anything on your end?
No, actually, I think that's exactly what I know. I know that Stanford and Milford have inquired, but I don't know of any other program like Go New Haven Go that's also additionally using the services currently of CT rides in this format.
I will add, though, that to the latter part of that question, my hope is that we're going to start pushing this out. We're going to start letting other folks in our university network throughout Connecticut know about what we've done so far, and our hope is that other universities will develop interest in it and take it to their municipalities.
Great. Okay, so going back to the leadership and the media attention that you've gotten on this program, I don't know if there's one answer for this question, but how did you pursue this top-level leadership? How did you get these folks to the table to be, out there promoting it and attending events?
Well, it does help that the City of New Haven bats above its weight class with respect to attention it gets from its federal delegation. But it all starts with Mayor Toni Harp and her prioritization for the work of her Department of Transportation, just to focus on the 30% of households that don't have cars. So we did a lot of traditional stuff, press releases, media releases, and whatnot, working with our public information office, but also a lot of guerrilla stuff with respect to tweeting at and Facebook messaging various folks in the press of the New Haven Register, New Haven Independent, WTNH. And developing these relationships are never a bad thing, obviously. So to be able to get your message out there, you need to have a relationship to be able to call up on press and say, hey, we got something going. It did help that September was a fairly slow press month, and it does help that our local media, New Haven Independent, they were a participant in Go New Haven Go. They actually even won an award in Go New Haven Go as an employer because none of their reporters drive themselves to work. So I think between traditional media and new media, there are effective strategies in order to get the attention that you're looking for.
Great. And are you measuring the community's awareness of the program at all?
I think the measurements that we have currently are the 2014 to 2015 results of those who have participated. But I think that's a wonderful way and a good area for us to follow up with, which is, if I could, I would survey the city and ask them if they know about it. But I would be very welcome to any suggestions on how best to measure the knowledge of the program.
Great. Okay, Melissa, can you talk more about the car share program and how Yale utilizes it?
So the car share program at Yale is actually, it's Zipcar. And so what we've done is we now have 35 Zipcars located in convenient locations around campus, and we now provide a departmental membership option. So individuals don't have to sign up necessarily. It can be their department. So our office, the Yale Office of Sustainability, has a department membership. So if I need to say, if I want to walk to work and then I need to get out to West Campus for a meeting, I can actually access a Zipcar in any one of the locations on campus and then use that car to get to and from my meeting. So that's the primary way. We're also talking about Zipcar, talking to Zipcar. Zipcar also has, of course, a strong presence in New Haven, and we're talking to Zipcar about enhancing that initiative so that it will be possible to do one-way usage. So, for instance, pick up a car in a central location here on campus, drive it to another location, and just drop it at that other location without having to return it. So that's an active partnership that we're hoping to be able to enhance Go New Haven Go with next year.
Great, okay. And Joanne, how can we at DEEP and listeners today help promote Connecticut Rides programs? It seems that there's some really great program offers. How do we get the word out and get people paying attention?
I think in any way that we can get the word out would be very, very important. I think social media is a great way to get it out. I also think any opportunity to promote it within your own employers and then promote it, in any way, shape, or form. I think that's the best thing that we can do. We're a service that's available to anybody in the state of Connecticut who's commuting. Our services, range across the state. Our customer service is incredibly knowledgeable about each and every area in the state and what services and what commuter options they have available. So I think it would be great if anybody could, email, send an email blast to their employees, anything that we can do to get the word out.
Okay, great. So a couple more questions. So I think one is directed at DEEP. Is DEEP or GC3 promoting state-level mode shift goals? Yes. As a part of the process of the Governor's Council on Climate Change, we will certainly be focusing on transportation. As I think someone had in one of their previous slides, it's 40% of our greenhouse gas emissions inventory. And one reason that we're highlighting the Go New Haven Go program is something that we see that is a unique and creative solution to getting people out of their cars, with participation from private and public groups. So that will certainly be measures for transportation mode shifts will definitely be something that GC3 is exploring. And then, and if anyone else has any questions, go ahead and send it in. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up here in a minute. But one last comment was, instead of just Go New Haven Go, why not make it Go Connecticut Go? Which, if you guys aren't offended that if we were to make it a state thing, I think that's a great suggestion.
We're very we're tickled at the suggestion. So that, I mean, Connecticut is obviously a small enough state where we don't all need to go do our own city initiatives, and we're happy to have spearheaded this, but also very happy to turn this into a template that we can launch statewide.
And definitely CT Rides would be happy to support an initiative like that. And then also anyone who is interested as an employer in having us come out directly to their place of employment to work with them as an employer to set up a program or to work with their employees, we would definitely be happy to do that. And it would be just a matter of contacting the 1-877 CT Rides, and they would put you in touch with the right outreach person, because we do have people out there working in the community and with employers directly. So we could definitely support Go Connecticut Go.
Great. Something to maybe look forward to. Okay, one last question. Are any of you aware of any other states with a program or initiative of this sort?
Yes, I don't know if if we're still looking at my screen, but
yeah.
Seattle, Philly, Arlington, a number of other folks, and some of them are paid staff, some of them are coming out of their state Department of Transportation, some of them are just their city. So we'd be more than interested in doing best practices research with anybody that would like to, in order to figure out what works best for the state of Connecticut.
And yes, sorry, someone just asked if the slides will be available afterward. Go ahead and email me if you want the actual slides. We will be posting this webinar so that it can be viewed at a later time, but if you actually want the slides and Melissa, Doug, and Joanne are willing to share them, go ahead and email me at Keri, KERI.ENRIGHT-Cato@ct.gov. So thank you to all of you for your presentation and your wealth of information. It's been great hearing about the program, and hopefully we can inspire others to go ahead and put something similar in their communities. So I actually just wanted to wrap up by announcing a few other, sorry, I'm just trying to get my screen up so that you can see. We have a few other webinars coming up just around the corner, and I want to encourage you to participate. We have on Tuesday of next week, consumption-based greenhouse gas accounting, and on Friday of next week we have Be Green 2020, and on November 4th we have Portland or Oregon Equity Working Group. So again, thank you to our speakers, and we look forward to sharing with you in the future on innovative programs that are happening in Connecticut as well as other places. Thank you.
Thanks, Keri. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.